Go for it.
From demo to drop, welcome to Dope or Nope, the biggest weekly demo drop on the planet. Every Thursday, we bring you never-before-heard demos dropped off by new and accomplished artists and producers. Then, we offer our feedback to help songs reach their full potential. This is Dope or Nope. Now, your hosts, Nick Dietrich from the Disco Fries, 30-plus-year dance radio programmer John J.B. McDaniel, radio host and social media guru Raquel Goldie, VP of Dim Mock Records Lauren Padman, and 30-plus-year music promoter Hess. It's time for Dope or Nope.
Wow, it's time. We made it. I feel like sometimes it's the struggle bus to get here to this place. It is 3 p.m. It is Thursday, a little after 3, as usual. Please meet the team. Nick, Raquel, JB. So excited to see you guys. Here we go. Here we go again. So, in case you're just joining us for the first time, and you didn't just hear that intro, what we have here is a live demo drop. We get dropped off a ton of demos every week, and we don't listen to them. We do them live. You hear it when we hear it, and, that's sort of the thing. And then, we talk about them, and we have a good time with them. I'm really excited about it. I'm really happy to be here. This is some of the best stuff I do every week. Is this hour is just so I don't have to think about chart numbers. I don't have to think about any of the other things that are going on with the regular, artists, this, that, and the other thing. It's just this is great. It's just really open. You know what I mean? How you guys doing?
I agree. Even though we're very connected, it feels like we get to disconnect in a nice way. It's a refresher. I was swamped today, and I really wanted to make it happen, and I'm here. I'm very happy to be here.
Nice.
Rimnez
Raquel,
is also here.
What's that?
Rimnez is also here. What's up, man? Thanks for joining
Rimnez.
us.
Hi.
First up, look at him. Raquel, can we
Yes?
we haven't really announced it. Can you really talk about this new thing you're doing? Because it's kind of large.
Yeah. So, it's officially official now. We've been teasing it on here for a couple weeks, but
Right.
I am now officially the weekly top 20 EDM host on Live One. I'm completely rebranding the countdown.
Amazing.
And it's going to be so fun. I'm so excited to be able to spearhead this project and just really introduce all new artists and kind of everything I've been doing the past 4 years at different places all in one place, which is really nice.
Right.
So now I'm going to be doing K-pop and EDM, which are my two favorite things.
So you're programming 2 stations. Oh, look at that. We get the big liftoff right there.
And I'm working on some more that hopefully are going to be coming soon.
Oh, wow.
Stay tuned.
Miss T right there.
Sound you're hustling.
Right? And then you're also headed to Korea. How long are you going for?
6 weeks.
Oh, no big deal.
Right. See you later.
Please.
6 weeks.
I'm going to see, hopefully I can see Armin and everyone at Ultra Korea. It's going to be happening while I'm there. World DJ Festival's happening while I'm there.
Oh, sweet.
Sounds awesome.
It's just going to be so fun. Yeah.
I
I'm
always
ready
get this
to
feeling
take a vacation.
I always get this feeling when you go, you're not coming back. There's this vibe.
Did anyone check to see if she bought a return ticket?
All right, let's not go there.
Return ticket
Nick,
from LA, so.
Nick, you have an exciting weekend.
I do. I need another week to prepare for it, but I don't have that, so it's fine. But very excited. EDC Vegas. It's our second time playing EDC Vegas. It's been a while. And we're playing the EDC Saloon, the first ever. And I was just told that there's going to be... Well, first, let me back up. The EDC Saloon, the idea of this is that country music has infiltrated everything, but specifically dance music. So we obviously just released the bootleg pack yesterday, a bunch of country dance edits. We'll obviously be playing plenty of our own music. But there will also be line dancers. I was just told there's going to be line dancers during our set. So that's going to be interesting. And we're kicking it off. Doors open, we go on, and it's the first place you hit when you walk into EDC because it's in their downtown square area. So
Amazing, man.
It'll be fun.
I'm not gonna ask you what you're gonna be wearing because I don't want to give that away. Also, I may not want to know.
I'm excited for that.
But I remember like when I worked for Arista Records, like in the '80s, it was like '89 and '90. They opened Arista Nashville, and it was like a big deal, And there was a lot of groups that were coming through there, and I tried the hardest to like make a dance thing work with one of those songs, And I mean, I talked to everyone about some songs. I talked to Kenny and Louis Vega and Kenny Dope. I talked to like Todd, like a lot of people who are like very creative and know how to like really, morph things to make it work. And I just wasn't. Everyone internally was like, "Shut up, just do your thing."
We're not ready for that, George.
We're not ready for that.
Too forward thinking.
And then Cotton Eye Joe happened. I was like,
told you.
Ooh.
Didn't you say you worked that record?
No, that was actually Marco Navarro when he was working at the label was Jive at the time, and it was a perfect record for him because he could pretty much sell anything. But yeah, that went over kind of big. I think I was working James Brown is Dead around the time he was doing that.
It's an interesting space right now because of the Jelly Rolls and the Morgan Wallens of the world that have crossed over into pop. But we've loved what Vavo's been doing for a long time, and those guys are killing it in that space.
They're killing it.
We're guests. We're guests for this weekend. We're doing our thing and throwing our hats on. So.
That's awesome. Just real quick, who else is on that stage with you?
Mason Boss.
Mason Boss will be also re-editing their music a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
My guys, Lavish Life, who are very much planted in that world and are, partially living in Nashville. They're awesome. They're going to be on stage. MC4D. It's a cool lineup, but there's a bunch of acts that aren't at their roots country artists, but they're dipping their toes in the water. So we'll see.
I love it.
See how it all goes. Either way, it's gonna be fun.
I wish there was something like somewhere I could listen to that because it's really interesting. The other stuff is great too, but I'm just saying this to me is like interesting to see how you guys put it all together and make it work within the context of EDC.
Well, if you go grab our bootleg pack that's out now, you can get a taste of it too.
Oh my!
There you go.
I also want to. I want to give a quick shout out to. I'm on the board of a nonprofit here in New Jersey called Applaud Our Kids, and we fund kids from 6 years old up until 18 for music and performing arts lessons. So if they can't afford it, and most of them are from single parent households or no parent households, unfortunately. And so we help fund them that entire time. And when they're 18, they can actually get funded till 21 if they do a certain amount of community service.
Whoa.
So Sunday we're doing a big fundraiser, and they're giving me an award as being the cultural cultivator of our area, which is awesome. But I'm flying out of EDC to get there for that. But they're a great organization, so I recommend anybody watching and check them out. And
that's awesome.
Every dollar, Applaud Our Kids.
Sounds great, Nick.
Is that the website,
cool.
applaudourkids.com?
It's
or something like that?
.org.
.org.
But if you throw it in Google,
sense.
You'll get to it. But,
right.
Every dollar counts, and, the teachers who do these lessons are doing them. They're getting paid. Like, we pay them their rate and everything. So it's not like we're expecting people to work for free for the kids.
Right.
But, every lesson, every donation definitely helps.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Quick shout out to DJ Divine, all the way from Switzerland. What's up? Mark Smith, Radio Dave, Rimnez is in there. All right. I think maybe we should start with a couple demos. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Crack it open a little bit here. Yeah. Michael Gerald, his first submission for this week, and this is called So Attractive right here on Dope or Nope. bounce it up. Build. Woo. That kick, man. What? That is Michael Grau. That's called So Attractive. Bell, please.
There you go.
Me too.
Sure, why not? That one got me deep down in my chest with that bass. Oh my God. It was very attractive.
I'm going to give him half bell.
Okay.
The cow's back.
With the cap.
I like it threw me off because of the like long intro and all that, but I love the build and the delivery on the drop.
Yeah. Really, really nice. I love that kick, man. That's the kind of kick that is like in here. Imagine that in a club, because you don't really hear it. It's all in your chest or wherever proximity you're standing next to a speaker. But
hopefully not too close.
Not too close, right?
In the speaker.
So good. Raquel, anything additional you want to add to the bell?
Whatever club he's playing in Switzerland, I would like to go. That would be great.
I want to go there. John, you got anything extra?
No, I was really impressed with the overall feel of this track. And like you said, Nick, it was a little bit long in the tooth in the beginning, but I mean, that's to mix in beats and dance music. So
right.
Can't fault that. So yeah.
Super good. Michael, thank you for sending that.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
nice
it.
One.
Next one up is Little Legends, and this is called Phone, right here on Dope or No.
Eyes in the club, I see you. I fall to the floor. Can't get enough when I'm with you. Somehow I want more. I give every second, every day. If you just call me yours, call me yours. Now my brain is on another high. When I see you tonight, can I just make you mine? I can't have it any other way. I just want you to stay. Just need your company. When I see you on the phone, my heart goes da 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 da. I hear you on the phone and I go da 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 da. When I see you on the phone, my heart goes da 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 da. I hear you on the phone and I go da 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 da. When I see you on the phone, my heart goes stop. I know what you're thinking. Late night text when you're drinking. Heartbeat fast when I'm ringing. Phone lights up and I'm sinking. I give every second, every day. If you just call me more, call me more. Now my brain is on another high. Will I see you tonight? Can I just make you mine? I can't have it any other way. I just want you to stay. Just need your company. See you on the phone, my heart goes da 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 da.
Little Legends with a 3 instead of that's called Phone. What do we think, guys?
That hook is easy on the ears.
Yeah, big time.
So, I like the core of the track. If I heard this as a demo, which I am right now, but if I heard this as a demo pitched to us, it's wide open. It has a lot of potential for some cool production trickery. Some of the chord changes are really nice and unique.
Yeah.
If you're going out with this as a record, though, a finished song, it's lacking the special sauce. Like, it feels a little middle of the road generic, where it doesn't commit to something that's super cool and energetic to play in a club.
Right.
But it's also not quite pop enough to just be a song by itself, and it doesn't have some of the slickness that you need in a pop record. So it lands in this abyss, which, yes, I know you're familiar with working records sometimes that land in this funny zone of, and JB, I'm sure you've been pitched many records that land in this kind of world that doesn't commit to one or the other.
It's a tweener.
Yeah, and I mean, early in our career, these were things we did often, where we didn't know where we were landing or who the audience was.
Right.
And
So
sometimes
you try to be everything.
you try to be everything, and then you end up being nothing because you don't commit to an audience.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard, you know. I imagine it's hard. I don't produce, so
It is. I mean, now there's some more options with streaming because
Yeah.
there are different playlists that this could live on.
sure.
But I think it would have a broader, a bigger shot to hit a broader audience if you kind of picked one or the other.
Right.
It does kind of walk that line really well. I liked the vocal a lot. I think overall as a track, it's really poppy, and it's the kind of song that could get stuck in your head because there's a hook there. And like you said, it's easy on the ears. I guess one bit of caution is that thing where maybe there's a little bit too much vocal. This is going to be hard to go out and sing this live because you'd be singing for like 2.5 minutes straight.
Yeah. There was
and-
she went right into the second verse. It was like, boop.
Yeah, so maybe a little breathing room in there. Maybe that's
Yeah.
a chance to
Good call out.
commit to one lane or the other at that point. But yeah, I liked it. I'd give it a half a bell with a cow.
Wow.
Oh, okay. All right. Raquel?
Yeah, no, I really liked it. It was one of those where I was listening, but I kind of like disassociated, and I was like, I like what's going on in the background. It's nice. But I definitely think it's one of those. It's like you either got to go poppier and just go straight pop, or you got to go EDM and take some vocal out, because like, yeah, it kind of, it's like in between right now. And even when I get sent these types of records, I'm like, I don't know where you want it to go.
And by the way, neither is the right or wrong answer, right? So like but it is like pick one.
Yeah.
So I think that's the sort of game there, is like I'd like to see that with a little more meat on the bones, if you will. I think the structure's there. John, good point on having a break in there, but that's all like kind of drilling down into, you know, what happens after you leave Dope or Nope, right? It's like, oh, okay, right, I should be this or that. I don't know if I would spend a lot of time thinking about one way or the other, but just think about one. You know, where is it that, or is it consistent with the other stuff you're producing, right? That's the other answer, right? Because that's kind of a big deal. Like, is it? So if you go pop, but all the other stuff you're doing is something else, then I don't know. That's going to get weird at some point. You know, but nice. Thank you for sending that. Up next is Divine, and this is called Breathe In, right here on Dope or Nope.
It's like Divine's in the chat too.
Yeah, and he's on Instagram. Everyone on Instagram, thank you for joining us today. Ken Loy, Fat Music, yeah, a lot of good people. I'll shut up.
We found each other somehow, baby. There was a time that I didn't believe, but Cupid had shot us separately. Now I know there was somebody for me. We did.
honestly, but wow. I didn't feel like it was that long at the beginning, but then it gets a little lengthy. That's fine. Really nice job. I'll go with the half bell, please. I would ask also who the vocalist is, because it's really a nice connection to that track, you know?
Yeah, I felt like that vocal, it paired well with what he had going on in the instrumental. Sometimes we get tracks on here where the vocal is great and the instrumental is great, but they're not really married to each other very well.
Yeah.
And this one it works.
Yeah. Doesn't say who
I really
it is,
like the
actually.
vocal.
Maybe Divine will let us know. Raquel?
Yeah, I think in some spots it got a little lengthy.
Yeah.
But again, it just kind of depends what you're trying to do with this, because if you're trying to make it a radio record, which it could be potentially, gotta shorten it and tighten it up. But
Yeah.
if you want some long, extended, in the club at 4 a.m. moment, then like it's good. You're chilling. It's doing what
I'd
it
love
needs
to hear an
do.
edit of this. Really condensed
Yeah.
version. Yeah, I think it would be really good.
I do too. A 2:30 edit would be great, and they should drop this off to enhanced or colorize. This would be cool for them potentially.
Oh yeah, huh? Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Good idea. Hope you take that advantage. John, any additional thoughts there?
I was just going to say that the vocal was giving me Delirium vibes. It just kind of had that really kind of pretty sort of,
It's quite a compliment.
Yeah, well, I mean, Delirium's no joke. But yeah, and then the track itself was, laid back, but it was still moving pretty well. So I think it was really pretty solid. I will take a half a bell as well.
Nice.
Love it.
I'm
A
gonna
lot
do
of
the
beef
same.
here. A lot of beef. A lot of beef. Thank you guys.
Now you know where
Divine,
it
thanks
is.
for dropping that off. Our next one up is Smithworks, and this is called Warp. Dope or nope? Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Is that
Nice.
it? Oh,
No, it's not
It's not
actually. No, there's another 3 minutes left. But
Wow.
I think we'll dip here, right here, because I think I lost a tooth on that one. Woof. Smithworks. I'm going to give you, I'd like to listen to the whole thing for a full bell, but I'll definitely go with a half. Yeah, I think these are, like,
This
when
is
you do
interesting.
something like this, you start at such a level, and to maintain that for the whole time, the excitement of it, the compellingness of it, where it doesn't, just get like a lot of, garbage, right? But this is like, this kind of keeps it going,
Yeah,
I
it
really like
does
it.
a good job maintaining
Yeah.
that first
Kind of
overall feel.
Keeps you in it, other than, because, when it's that hard, it rubs a little bit. From a production standpoint, what do you think, Nick?
These are tricky ones because I don't listen to enough of this genre to give tons of feedback. I can tell you that this is awesome. I will say, at some points in the record, it felt like there was a lot of like one-shot samples that were used that didn't like evolve a lot. Like it's the same sound over and over without any sort of automation.
Right.
So if I was gonna critique something, I would say to like pay attention to doing a little bit more of that. But I loved it. I thought it was fun. The drop is super dope. It has a lot of variation that keeps you compelled to keep listening. And I think that's super important in these records. And it wasn't the mix wasn't overly blown out. Like we've had a lot of demos in this lane where they'll just like turn up the distortion and overdrive on the mix and push it all the way. And this had like a good balance of some stuff that was blown out, some stuff that was clean, and overall it was cohesive and it wasn't overly taxing on your ears.
Yeah, just even looking at the file, when you get that stuff, and you always can see when you have one of those that you were just describing, when you see it in SoundCloud and it's like just pushed to the edges all the way across, it's a straight line.
It's a brick.
This really has some dynamics to it, and I think that shows off when you actually hear it. Raquel, you were saying you kind of feel like this?
I was like, that's what the inside of my brain is like today. As soon as this started, I was like, oh yeah. You know what's even crazier? I feel more relaxed after listening to that, so I'm unwell.
You got that out. You got that out now.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I feel better.
Right? And if you go into EDC, there's a good possibility you're going to hear a lot of that.
For sure.
Yes.
A lot. I feel like when I'm walking
epic.
around when I'm not at a stage, I'm just getting pounded, whether it's the art car or whatever's going on. It's just like...
But then I'm like, I want to go there.
Right. Don't follow the light. JB.
Yeah, mean, when I want to go hard, this is what I want to hear. Like, it really kind of had everything I was looking for. It had lots of fun headphone candy. I liked it enough to give it a full bell.
Oh, I want a bell. I forgot that.
Oh,
2 bells.
2 bells.
And then
Now I have bell envy.
Not too late.
I don't know what to do now.
Nice job. Wow.
I'm going to stay with it. Mark Smith, who's actually in the audience, is Smithworks. And great job, man. Really, thank you so much for dropping that off. So much appreciated. Wow. Okay.
Nice one.
I feel bad for the guy who's following, or woman. But, oh, man. I'm going to really screw this name up.
Can't wait.
You feel bad because you can't pronounce their name.
I mean, I'm looking at it, and my brain is listening to the other song and trying to figure this name out. Aguara, Aguara, and this is called the Venice Circle, and you're listening to Dope or Nope. just for a second. Let's see how he gets out of this. H. Ogiwara, thank you for that. Venice Circle, right here on Dope or Nope. Thanks for sending that. That was actually a little less scary than I thought when following Smithworks, like, where are you going with that after that one, But that was really well done. I'm going to go with a half a bell, and I would have done a full bell. Thank you. If, I feel like the sample repeats too many times.
Bingo. And
there's two sections of that, and maybe that was a cut and paste move. I don't know. But there's a lot of good stuff in there, and I think it needs to be, for the layman's terms, condensed. And a couple of those places, particularly where that sample is rampant and repeating every beat almost, it feels like. I would have liked to have that every other or just shorter. It was too long. Either shorten it or ease up on the sample, one or the other. But that is what I got. Nick?
I'd agree. I thought that sample at some points was going to rip into a full vocal or a 4 to 8 bar vocal hook. And it never went beyond a 1 bar loop, which was disappointing. I like the vibe of it. You could easily recreate something like that and extend it out, which I would encourage you to do. And then these instrumental bits, it sounds great when it just rides with that piano stabs and the groove. You got the percussion's awesome. So I would lean into that a little bit more and make the whole arrangement a little bit tighter.
Yeah, agreed. Raquel?
Yeah, I wanted more from it because it's so vibey and it paints such a picture, but you just need more. Right now it's just palm trees and I need the coconuts, the ocean, the beach, the chairs, I need more.
Paint the picture.
I love it. Yeah. That's a great picture. But if you're going to paint,
it could be
put
great.
a little more paint on the brush, right?
A little more color and some glitter.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, glitter. That's very nice.
Glitter.
JB?
Biodegradable glitter, that is.
Biodegradable,
yes.
So I thought it was fun and vibey too. I definitely hear the appeal of it. I felt like the way it was structured was a little bit kind of something we've heard before. I didn't hear anything that was oh wow, I can't believe that they did that. So it didn't catch me by surprise. But just for the vibe of it alone, I'll take that half a bell, please.
All right.
And I think that a longer sample, or even just somehow transforming that sample throughout, would sort of make it a little bit more variable, I suppose. So
right.
Agreed.
Yeah, great. All really good information and a nice track, though. Just straight up a nice track. Next up is Hydro, and this is called Remedy. I think this says it's requiring vocals, so sounds like a track, and he is looking for maybe a top line on this. Let's see what we got on Dope or Nope. Shout out to the Instagram crew. Peter Summers, thank you. nice. I actually like that. Really nice melody. I think, not being a writer, Nick, I'm going to leave that to you a little bit more. But yeah, I think that could be a nice song. I'd love to hear you finish that and come back.
Yeah, Raquel, what do you think? I'm gathering thoughts.
It's definitely a good start. I think it would be like a really good pop radio record for sure. If you got the right vocalist, I think you could do male or female. I don't think it matters. I think once you just find like a right person that fits it and it's a good match, it'll be good. It's giving like party summer song. Can't go wrong with that.
Party summer, yeah, exactly.
I love when the music's released around this time of year. Like everyone's out of their seasonal depression and happy music, and you're like, summer.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's nice.
I like it. I like the vibe. I like where it's headed. I think my biggest thing is that the mix isn't there, but you could skew this in a way if you tighten up all the sounds, less reverb, less delay, and make it super punchy. You could kind of steer it towards a Porter Robinson feeling record. Versus like right now it's kind of leaning
minus cheerleader, that is.
Yeah, no, some of the other stuff, but right now it's kind of leaning like almost like a progressive, like a slower tritonal record or something.
Yeah.
Versus being something like edgier, punchier, cool. I don't know. You could go either way, but right now it's in the middle of the two, and it's either speed it up a bit and get there, so it's a club thing, or what I would do is like lean it into that like punchy pop, uplifting feeling,
where it like kind of has like that a little bit of a, like you were saying, tritonal, like that in the middle of the song where it kind of stops and kind of backs up a little bit, almost like dubsteppy vibe. Yeah, you could do. So do you do that? So besides that, but were you talking about like tightening up the production and the sounds and things like that? Do you do that before you get a top line and a person to sing on it, or would you do that after? I've heard a couple, and I don't know if this plays into like leaving a track sort of open sometimes and letting this, giving space for the person to write and sing it if it's the same person. To
me, this track is a little busy to send to somebody as is. There's just a lot going on, so I don't know. I've had it with vocalists before where we've sent like, you know, something that's pretty well fleshed out, and they're almost like, where do I belong in the record? Right. Versus you send them something that almost sounds unfinished, that has less, like, but it has chords. Yeah, and they're like, open canvas. I could throw you more vocals than you need, and then you as the producer can strip back what's good and what works, what doesn't. I think it's better. It'll feel awkward to you because as a producer, you want it to sound finished and produced and all the things. Yeah. But anybody who's getting a great vocal usually is sending something pretty bare bones. Right.
Cool. Good to know.
From what I know of, like, you know, Guetta's stuff, it's like, you know, piano, drums.
That's fair. And then they put it together later. Yeah.
Exactly.
Works for him, apparently.
I think that's a good template to follow.
I don't know.
Hard to tell when he puts one out every week. JB, what are your thoughts?
I just think it had a lot of potential, and I also would like to hear kind of where it goes from here.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Well produced.
Bring it back. Fix it up. Bring it back. Rimnez, our guy, is he still in the audience? This one is called Pressure.
Pressure.
Pressure, in case you didn't hear it. Pressure. What do we think, guys? Yeah, good name for a song called Pressure.
I gave Rimnez some feedback on this earlier today, so I'll just summarize that. I'm going to give him half bell. I think it's very on brand for him.
Yeah.
I mentioned on our other stream that he sounds on every record like he drives 150 miles an hour and makes records while he's doing it.
Right, with the laptop.
Exactly. But really good momentum. I gave him a couple tips on kind of dialing in the sound, and another one that's that could be a little tighter as far as the mix, but
yeah,
super on brand, really cool record.
Love it. JB?
Yeah, fun. Like I said, it's got the right name, and it certainly presents that feeling. So if that's what he was going for, he hit it. So
cheers.
Nice job. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Exactly. Raquel?
I think Hayes really good at knowing what he's good at and doing that. And I think that's this is one of those records. Of course, things could be a little tighter production-wise, but this is what it needs to do.
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna go with a half a bell. I actually really like that. There's one part in there where I feel like when you just to change up the dynamics of the track a little bit, so instead of that kick in the same way, maybe a harder one every other kind of came to mind. But it's also I'm listening in these in the AirPods, so sometimes I don't hear the true dynamics of a pair of headphones like you guys are wearing. But yeah, I really like it, and it does what it says it's gonna do. Or this is a song called Pressure, and that's exactly it. And it's nice too. It's what was it, 209? So there it is. Yeah, perfect, exactly. Hold on, let me turn that off. Let's see who's next. DJ Kirk. This is called Bring Back the Soul. Oh, this could be interesting. Dope or nope? That's DJ Kirk with Bring Back the Soul. I have just a quick comment. So there's up to this section. This is a minute in right here. And I feel like there's a nice slow build up until we go back and just the piano. And I think I wanted more then. So I felt like it was going, it was becoming fuller, more fleshed out, and more more dynamic. And I feel like this piece here just went backwards a little bit for me, sort of let the air out of the balloon a little bit. But that's fine. It's probably maybe early putting this together. But I think this, where you were at a minute, could just keep on going. Like, keep on exploring the dynamics of how to make that fat, for lack of a better term. I just really enjoyed it. And then, this kick back into this piece, the last piece here, is like kind of what I was hoping to have like earlier on. With a track like this, I don't think, my opinion, I don't need to lighten it up. Like, I don't need like a break from it. I want more. I want you to keep, Raquel, painting that picture more. Like, where's now the umbrella and now the beach, and now I got my drink and the pineapples are there, and like, keep going. Like, that would be I grew up in like this kind of vibe music in the early part of my career, and I just, it just keeps getting bigger and fatter, and just like, the dynamics of the vocal, and maybe a different vocal sample, later on in the song too. But that's my 50 cents, and I'll take a half a bell, please.
That's great advice. I heard this record from Kirk earlier, and now hearing it a second time, it grew on me a little bit. Initially, I was like, this could use more development in terms of like, there's nothing that I grab onto and remember specifically from the record, but it's a great vibe. So is there a way to take everything you have here and retool it a bit to be a little bit catchier? So there's a riff you take away from the record.
Sure.
I also love the idea of an extra vocal sample or two that like you really grab onto and you understand the lyric and pull that away from the song.
Yeah.
That's the only thing lacking for me. There's nothing like I walk away saying that's a cool record, that's a cool vibe, but I don't grab anything and say I'm not humming it walking away, or I'm not thinking about a lyric. So I think that's the downfall.
Well, I think I have, having maybe been to a club or two from the previous evening, and,
Have you?
At like noon the next day, this is the kind of, like, it reminds me of Shelter a little bit, like in the middle, because they would start Saturday night and go till some point on Sunday, because it was non-alcoholic, so they could just keep going. And this is a kind of track, like this kind of vibe, with like more rounded kicks, and this wowould be going at like 10 a.m. But you didn't need a break from it. You like keep the pump, and that's why I brought that up, is because like I was very in the Shelter when I was listening to the front part of that song. But so I dig that. John?
Yeah, what a vibe. Gave me CeCe Peniston and Robin S. vibes all the way. And like you were saying, it's not a big commitment to listen to it. It's just there, and it doesn't fatigue you. I just think it's really fun. It would be nice to have something to take away from it, so that when you were talking about it, if you wanted to talk about it the next day, you would be able to say, oh, it has that hook or whatever, but I'm not sure what she's saying, so I wouldn't be able to really repeat that to anybody to describe it. So, but I really do like the vibe. Half a bell, please.
I think it's also like begging for a big fat vocal.
Yeah. You could really go to town with that.
Like in that break area, like if you had someone with some real pipes, like old school pipe vibe, like that would be fun. Oh my God. So fun. Raquel?
I love the Blessed Madonna's Happier right now. It's been on repeat since it came out. And I feel like that is a really good song with an example of doing this correctly and making it something that can be put on the radio and making sense. So I feel like if they had a vocal like that on this and did a little bit more to the production to make it just more interesting, I think it would be great. Especially because like that sound is coming back again right now.
I agree. I mean,
also love the idea of like dirtying up the drums a little bit more.
Right?
Same.
Yeah.
We like dirt. We like dirt.
We do.
Dirt's good.
We do.
Look at us. I mean,
I really, Kirk, go back in.
It's going to be good.
Do more. Do more, buddy. It's like really, that's going to get in my brain later. I'm going to start thinking about who would sing on that. Wow, we made it, guys. We have this last one left, and this is by Peter Summers, who's been hanging out over at on Instagram. And also Zach Martino, Radio Flips, everyone who has been joining us over on Instagram, thank you. This is by Peter Summers. This is called In My Life.
But you don't want to see me. You're playing for time. No, I know it's life. I'm bringing you everything you need in your life. Oh, I can't decide if you might be everything I need in my life. If you might be everything I need in my If you might be everything I need in my
Lauren's going to hate he missed this one.
Yes, he is.
Peter.
Nice.
Woof.
I'm
Is this
gonna
the
do
first
it.
time? Is
Gonna
this
do it.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yes, I'll have one.
Okay.
Me too.
3,
I'm getting
Me
tired
too.
of the cow.
4.
There it
He
is.
went for all of them on the last record. Amazing.
Peter Summers. This is, to me, this is the
Great.
demo of the day. Well,
Agreed.
yeah. I can't put it in the same category as Smithworks because that also is like, you know what I mean? They're, they're both extremely good. Just apples and oranges. Ah, Peter, there he is. You want to give him the email to send it to, Nick, or have you
Yeah,
already
liftoff
private?
recordings at gmail.com. We'll kindly take that.
Yeah.
I love the record, and now I'm going to tell you all the things that I would change about it.
Okay,
So-
wait. But no, I'll let you go. Go.
No, first of all, the things that I love about it are the vibe is awesome. Like, uplifting, talk about summer records. Like, this is a perfect summer
Yes.
dance record. The vocal chops are awesome. The whole thing stays interesting. You want to keep listening. It's got everything you'd want out of a record like this. I think there are some things in the mix that you could do, especially in the low end, to punch that through. Have a look at that. Also, you use snares on 2 and 4 in the drop, and if you just went straight kick, at least for the first 8 bars of each drop, with 16th note like shakers or something, you'd probably have a little more momentum there.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Me too.
Yeah.
Twins.
Right.
Other than that, and this is purely a creative decision. This is not like it objectively needs to be different, but the vocal might sound cool pitched up and like treated kind of like Vassy Secrets type effect.
Oh, interesting.
That's something that you might want to play with, or you might want to like just automate it up in sections, leave it natural and then automate it up, which Alesso's done on records, and it sounds super cool. It's a nice trick.
This is how you know when Nick is interested in a record.
Yeah.
It's quite granular.
Yeah, I get into the weeds a little. The poppies, if you will.
That's awesome.
The poppies.
That's awesome. Raquel,
Yeah. Send it to Nick, get it situated, and send it to me.
and then get it out.
You know?
Oh, and then get it on the countdown. Oh,
Maybe.
go.
Yeah.
Full circle.
JB.
What can I say? It definitely has that summer up tempo dance pop feel.
Yeah.
His name is Pete
His
Summers.
name is Summers. Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. So Very on
Is
brand.
it spelled summer?
Summers.
Yeah, summers.
Summers.
So many summers over decades.
Many summers.
Right. He'll be around for many summers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great
I
song.
think
Wow.
I'm going to do a bell,
Please.
and then I'll just say radio is so diverse right now. I mean, it's close to all over the road. If you look at the scope of the entire panel, right? So not one station specifically. And so it makes it hard sometimes to nail right in the center of that and then have a single song work everywhere. So I think this would be appreciated by more than half the panel, but some might consider it a little light, right? I love when it jumps into the stutter beat, when you get into the hook. Like, this is really great, and you were talking about the vocal chop. I mean, it's like that part is valuable throughout the entire panel. I think the pieces in between that are just a tiny bit light. And this is just like, from if I were to work this record, I would say, yeah, we need, the pat answer would be we need a little bit of a remix. We need to like harden it up a little bit in some spots, or have an alternate version that got a little bit dirty, just as a tool, really, to have this specific purpose. And that's it, really. This could fit on quite a few playlists that I can think of. So, yeah, well done, man. Really nice. And that's it.
You know what's really quick on the playlist thing, and I know we're all kind of jumping off of here in overtime now. Just had a record that we had put out on Liftoff in 2023, in June of 2023, get added to editorial the other day.
Yeah.
It was a Liftoff release. And, that's happened for us with Disco Fries, and it's happened for us with other Liftoff records, but it always gives me hope. And I feel like people need to hear that, because there's a lot of artists that treat their releases as one and done, like in for a week, on to the next.
Right.
And I think that there's always room to work your catalog, and if something is a great record, it will stick around. And they look at the metrics,
right.
They know what's going on with a song, if it's getting saves over a period of time.
And they do look, right? So
yeah.
And that's very timely, because it's, tonight is release night for 90% of the things that'll be out tomorrow. And what's super important is, from a person who promotes music, not everything is going to happen tonight, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're looking at things dynamically, right, in real time. After tomorrow morning, they're going to get up and say, okay, you'll start to see, I'm sure a lot of it's automated, but things will move up in playlists and down and sideways, whatever. And sometimes on Monday or Tuesday, if you didn't get the Friday look, it still happens. You know what I mean? And I think that's also important. So I always leave hope to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday that something still could show up somewhere, even in a very specific genre list. But yeah, to your point, I think they're always looking at data, right? They're always looking at data, trends. Maybe what you made didn't resonate right then, but maybe right now there's something in the sound, or it's getting picked up somehow, or just, and obviously things happen later. You might get a sync, you might get a big DJ suddenly decides to play it, or, all those kind of things happen. But man, I look at all the curators of these platforms, thousands upon thousands of records that they receive every week. And, you can look at it two ways. You can be mad you didn't get the look, or you can just go, all right, so how do I rise above some of this noise? Because, I don't remember what the number was that they get every week for editorial, but it's a few.
It's staggering.
It's staggering. And there's obviously teams too. It's not just one person all the time. But, yeah, keep the hope, man.
I had this in mind. I had a meeting with our distributor today, And even with them, like, we just need to be mindful about what's the priority and what they're going to push. Like, you can only, I mean, it goes for anybody you hire. If you're hiring a plugger to promote your stuff at radio or to tastemaker DJs, it's always good to find out how many other projects they're taking on simultaneously.
Yep.
And if you're one of 100 versus one of 10 or 20, it's kind of a difference in how you're going to be positioned.
Sure.
But with the distributor, like, we have to know what else is coming out around that time that they're prioritizing and things like that, because there's only so many slots, and that goes for radio stations and it goes for people pushing your music to the DSPs.
And it goes for artists as well. You know, we deal a lot with this. Raquel, I know you got to go, so if you got to jump, so you don't lose your mind.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Raquel Goldie, everybody.
Sorry.
Say
This
hi
went
to her
on.
in Korea.
Safe travels.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
See ya.
Later.
You know, like with Armin, for instance, or Getta, or any of the guys that release, or TSO, any of the people that release records regularly, and I mean like every other week. You know, I've been sat in platform meetings and it's like, so which one? Which is the one? You know, you can't have, like, it can't be all of them. I mean, we would all like to think that, but it's even with those guys at that level, you know, they get more looks than they don't. But, you know, if you're like, I know, like Armin, I'm very close to that project, so I know there's some things coming that haven't been announced yet. There's one in July that's coming that is like a whale, a freaking whale. And I will say this, the first time I heard the not yet finished version, I got "This Is What It Feels Like" vibes, meaning not sonically, but what happened, because I worked that one and all the way through pop, and that was, and I got the same feeling on this next one. But then also he's had one with DOD, and he's had, you know, has like 4 or 5 tracks out right now that are like super. And there's one coming with Revo, who's like extremely popular right now. So that's, you know, obviously we all say, no, that one, but yeah, these. But that's a hard conversation. So yeah, that's a good point. But so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dope or Nope. Whether you wanted to hear this or not, you did. And thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Nick, we going to raid?
We're going to raid. I'm going to let JB do his final plug.
Oh, yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
Please feel free to share portions of the show on your social media. And if you do, please be sure to tag us so that we can also repost those on your behalf and help grow the show. And tell your friends about Dope or Nope.
Yeah. You should have been on radio, John.
I know. I missed my calling. Did I?
No. And on that note, we are going to, actually, this is the first raid today we've done to this gentleman. Our friend Bobby Shaw is live right now on Twitch.
Oh, nice.
So we're going over to Bobby.
What's up, Bobby?
I love that. You guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. Hug someone you love. It's never too late to let them know.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Peace
Bye.
out.